Esteemed Chairperson, Mr. Devlet Bahçeli, with whom we walk the same path in People's Alliance. Valuable guests, I would like to greet you all wholeheartedly with love, respect, and affection. I'm grateful to God for He has blessed me with fellow travelers as you, taking inspiration from Yunus. If we are to mention, we were one and we have become 21. We have become brothers and sisters and servants to the nation. We walked, alhamdulillah, to the cities we have arrived in, all distant places, and all high hearts we made. We, alhamdulillah, spread love. We stood tall and became plane trees. We have started racing the whole world. We have gone beyond, alhamdulillah. Come along, let's embrace. If we are far, let us come nearer. Make our country grow bigger and bigger. We have shown perseverance, alhamdulillah. Yes, exactly 21 years ago, on an August 14, by saying nothing will be the same again in Turkey. And gave the good news about the foundation of AK Party to our nation by making an excuse of a poem that we read, recited. Some tried to block our way, but we, together with our nation, gave our response by founding AK Party. In the first elections we joined, our nation brought to government with a 34% of vote margin, and to our day, AK Party from the ballot boxes always emerged victorious by claiming a ratio in between 40 to 50% all the time. In presidential elections and public votes, referendums, this figure went all the way up to 52% and even 67. Dear youth, political, economic, and socially challenged times of Turkey were when we were together with all my brothers and sisters, and they shouldered this great cause, and I would like to extend my gratitude personally and on behalf of my nation. Since its foundation, there have been many who served under the roof of AK Party. And all brothers and sisters who voted for our party, who supported our party, I would like to thank to each and every one of you, each and every one of our citizens, having their place in this great family, but who left us. My dear brothers and sisters who passed, I pray for their soul. And no matter what, there have been some who drew some other paths. for themselves, but I also would like to thank to them. Until their single last breath, there have been millions of people who are determined to serve AK Party, and with them we will continue walking on our own path. Inshallah, next year, if God graces, this time the anniversary of the foundation of our party will be held in an organization in AK Party in Ankara, indoor, closed sports stadium. This is a privilege, and by being grateful to this great grace God blessed us with, we will be engaged in our own business and do all to deliver on our responsibilities. As you know all very well, 21 years ago, by taking a step into the political scene in Turkey, AK Party started a new era and saved the country from a free fall. And the past 20 years, almost, of this country have been in our administration. By tackling century-long shortcomings, establishing infrastructure, we carried our country higher and higher. All districts, neighborhoods, villages, every inch of our country, all 81 provinces, have been adorned with great projects, investments, and great works. We have brought our trademark on them, if you will. As a necessity of our faith and human decency, this holy effort we have will hopefully be crowned when we win the 2023 elections again. The 2023 vision of Turkey is in democracy and development is not only related with tackling with shortcomings, but with its politics and economy claiming a place on the top of the world. The despicables among us and all those outside will never be allowed to drive us away from this goal. The sicknesses, plots, or traps of old Turkey will never be allowed for us to lose height. And certain sectarian and racism, hatred that some try to ignite, especially recently, will never be allowed to harm our eternal brotherhood, our solid unity. We will never allow it. All human beings cannot be discriminated on the basis of their colors, ethnicities, origins, or identities. And that mindset that consider them as such will be against what we will protect our country and our people, no matter what. Just like over the past 21 years, we will be elevating our values, taking our places in our people's hearts, go door to door, and in the face of lies and slanders of the opposition, we will always and always keep what's right elevated. My dear brothers and sisters, with the main ranks, youth branches, women's branches, in the next 10 months, with great efforts to be exerted, are you ready to run? Are you in to run? Are you in? From the chairperson of AK Party to all its organizations, and all the way to all the voters going to the ballot boxes. All members have this responsibility on their shoulders now. Our center our headquarters is the hub, is the center, and our district, our province heads are the representatives, are our standard bearers, and our mayors are the serving soldiers of our cities. All who take part in AK Party, all who are members to AK Party, all brothers and sisters are the representatives of AK Party in their own regions and districts. With this understanding from all my fellow travelers, just like the ants that carried water to the fire of Abraham, with a conscience that there's nobody where I am not, I expect all of you, to work with this consciousness. Dear youth, do not forget you have a heavy burden on your shoulders, not only of 85 million peoples, but all hundreds of millions of brothers and sisters' hopes you have on your shoulders. All laborers who go after halal livelihood, all mothers who bring up children for the good of this country, young people, all farmers breaking sweat under scorching sun, all civil servants serving for our government, all soldiers watching at night, our police officers, gendarmerie officers, our rangers, all across the world, all official and private missionaries and representatives making our flag fly high, all entrepreneurs making investments for the good of our nation, Diyarbakir mothers who are on the watch for 1,018 nights. Dear youth, always keep in mind, on the night of the July the 15th, with their bare hands, this great heroic nation stopped the tanks and breathed together with 85 million. You have the responsibility of hundreds of millions of brothers and sisters. In every step you take, in every action you take, I firmly believe that you act with this consciousness, with this awareness. As I always reiterate, there is still much to do for this country. There are still many services to deliver to this nation in the construction of the future of our young children. We have still many more steps to take ahead. From the Central Asia to the Balkans, from Africa all the way to all corners of the world, there are many brothers and sisters, hundreds of millions of them, who have their eyes and their hopes on Turkey. We still have much space to further increase the length of the bridge we have established from our past into our future. Are you ready? One nation, one flag, one homeland, one state. Yes, on this path, we still have much to do. On Saturday, This Saturday, we were in Çorum. This last Saturday. And then we moved on to Hacı Bektaş. If one is in Hacı Bektaş, wouldn't he say that? We were one, we were great, we were resilient, we were brothers and sisters, and all together we have been Turkey. We, as long as we hold tightly on our togetherness, our unity, our fraternity, God willingly, we will be making all this come true. The next anniversaries of the foundation of AK Party will be celebrated with more joy, pride, and a much greater enthusiasm with all these steps, because we have come from the bosom of this nation and have never diverged to another destination other than what our nation indicated, and have always had the same fate with our nation. Just like everyone, of course, someday we will be also leaving this earth. My dear brothers and sisters, a graveyard of only 2 cubic meters awaits us. Just like our ancestors did, we will have left great works, victories, projects, hopefully, left for the next generations to come. Mashallah, here you see all those other people just speak, just talk. But now you have the youth here. And I'm proud of our youth. May God protect us against all evil eye. We will exert a lot of efforts. We will work very hard. And 2023 will be the year when our youth will blossom. I do not have a single doubt that you have the same enthusiasm in you. May God bless you all. May God give you force, resilience, and steadfastness to work for the same end. My dear brothers and sisters, the century-long democracy and development shortcomings of our country were tackled by AK Party, but it also has brought the Turkish politics, which was confined in limits, to be carried into the 21st century. Even though some people do use words that do ignite further power to come and feel enmity for righteousness and are in enmity for the good of our nation and love mandates, do nurture on conflicts and atrocities, and even though some are disconnected with the world, with vision, with affection, with compassion, Dear youth, even though some want to bring us back to the foggy climate that none of us would like to remember, they will fail in that. From the single-party fascism of the 1940s to their making to power through coup attempts will be in no vain, and those who chase after them for their own interests can only be pitied for. While we try to carry our country a century ahead, there are those who want to carry our country backwards a century, but we altogether will show them that they will fail in that. Indeed, the oppression and misery practices of the single-party CHP periods, some try to put in front of our 2020 vision as an opponent, is not bought by anyone, and nobody gives credence to those people. The only capital some have is AK Party and People's Alliance and Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. And on the social media platforms and in circles that have enmity against Turkey, they have their foaming claims and slander. And together with that, from PKK to FETÖ, there are many civilian-looking extensions therewith. Dear youth, while our nation reflects their will to the ballot boxes, the criteria they take into account are very much different. They will only take a look at the services and great projects our country was given to. What did AK Party governments do in health, in education, in justice? And together with all these, what has AK Party government done in agriculture, foreign politics, transportation? All of these will our nation not consider, review? All of these, they will. And for themselves and for their children, they will be concerned. Who will be preparing the best future for them? My dear brothers and sisters, what's most important for youth? It is the highest quality education and training. And which government successfully has done that in Turkey? It has been ours. All those watching us on TV, I would like to make a call on them. My dear brothers and sisters, I studied in classrooms where we had 75 students. And there were also some classrooms where we had 100, 125 maybe students in my time. But alhamdulillah, now our children are educated in classrooms with a capacity of only 25 students. When we took office, we had 26 universities, but we now have 208. In all 81 provinces, we have universities. Is there a city, is there a single province in our country where we do not have a university? No. However, this CHP fascist mindset, what do they say? Why is there a need for so many universities? They say. This is what their rationale is. If I'm not mistaken, some asked a question to a Turkish singer, Tatlı Ses, from what university you graduated, or what was the university in Şanlıurfa, and he said, did we have Oxford in Şanlıurfa, and then we did not study. So now nobody will have to say the same. We have a university in Şanlıurfa, we have a university in Hakkari or other provinces, no matter where. In all cities of our country, alhamdulillah, we have universities. And now our professors go to our students, our associate professors go to their students and do lecture them in the cities where they are residing. We dealt with that matter. My valuable brothers and sisters, in education, while we took such steps, what did we do? Then in health, right now we have 19 giant state hospitals. There's no city or district where we do not have hospitals now. And what are we concerned with? We are concerned with the effort that we should not have any problem as such in any problem. And the second city hospital in Ankara will also be open soon. In Istanbul already we have Cham Sakura, Pine Sakura City Hospital, but along with that at Atatürk Airport location and in Sancaktepe, likewise, we have city hospitals, the constructions of which we finished in only 3 months. We did all of these. Bringing such services would only befit to AK Party. Our training and research hospitals are operating in the same fashion, and the 19 city hospitals we have opened have a bed capacity of more than 25,000. Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu, you were the chairperson of the Social Security institution in this country. For God's sake, just go out there and say that I finished the construction of this hospital. I did it. Go ahead and say it if you can. In that period, at hospitals, unfortunately, you can remember from the TV show of the late Savaş Ay, a TV programmer. They were making fun of him. And indeed, it was even enough for him to make the Social Security institution go bankrupt. Even that would say it. The sports centers number increased to 412 and sports complexes to more than 4,000. The bed capacity for higher education dorms from 182,000 to 746,000 beds. And over the past 20 years, we have made an investment of, we have made a social assistance of more than 539 billion. We have constructed 276 new public buildings. The number of prosecutors and judges increased from 9,000 to 23,000. The fight against terrorism went beyond our borders, and we crushed the heads, if you will, of the organized crime gangs from law enforcement to fight against drugs. We ensured the peace. For our people, prosperity, welfare for our people. Dear youth, when we took office, we had a divided road length of 6,115. However, we have 28,700 kilometer long divided roads. But dear youth, you should know these all well and tell them to those who do not. The highway length was only some 1,000. However, we increased it to more than 3,000. The number of the tunnels in our highways was 83, and it increased to 463. And the highways also increased when it comes to the length of viaducts and bridges. It was only 311, but now it is more than 700 kilometers. Over the past 20 years, the transportation work that we have brought to our country are as follows. Some of them. In bridges, Osman Gazi, Yavuz Sultan Selim, Adıyaman, Disipi, Elazığ, Ağın, Tohma, Hasankeyf 2, Çanakkale 1915, Dear youth, do you know what we built as tunnels? Bolud Mountain, Eurasia, Ilgaz, İstiklal, İzmir, Konak, Ergenek, Can Kurtaran, Sabuncubeyli, Oid, Kızılca, Amam, Çerkeş, Salara, Prinkayalar. And highways, Istanbul, Bursa, İzmir, North Marmara, Menemen, Ali Ağa, Çandarlı, Ankara, Niğde, Kınalı, Tekirdağ, Çanakkale, Savaştepe. When it comes to airports, pay attention, this is very important. How many airports did we have when we took office? My dear brothers and sisters, when we took over, the number of the airports was 26. Now it has come to 56. How much of a road has been covered? Take a look and see. There are still some airports we shall open, from airports to high-speed train projects, from suburban lines to metro lines. There are many great other projects we cannot break down here. We have brought our trademark on all 81 provinces of our country. In urbanization across the country, we are building 452 national gardens. 137 of them have been completed and put to service, and the other remaining under construction are very rapidly on process. And now through Toki, 1,170,000 residential units and workplaces, where we have schools, dorms, hospitals, totally 25,000 social construction project units. And now I would like to make a call on to our nation, all those who are watching us on their TVs right now.
Toplu konut idaresinden milletimiz konut almaya hazırsa,
if our country, if our nation is ready to procure flats or residential units from the mass housing administration, our mass housing administration will be constructing all these residential places, and they will be put to procurement. Put for procurement. We will also do that, and our agricultural national gross income was 37 billion in 2002, and we have increased it to 407 billion. The number of dams was 276. We increased it to more than 900. The number of the potable water plants increased when it comes to the flood protection. plants, these all increased, and also the number of the agricultural lands open to irrigation also increased, and the area of that increased from 5 million hectares to 7 million.
İhracatımızı
Our
36 milyar
exports
dolardan
was $36 billion when we took office, and in 2021 it increased to 225 billion, and now it is on the verge of $250 billion. Our defense industry projects budget has been increased from $5.5 billion to $75 billion, and it has become one of the leading uh, we have become one of the leading sellers of aerial, terrestrial um, platforms. 25 industrial zones, 87 technoparks were what we established. To claim our place in a space race, we have now operated our agency. For the manufacturing of our locally developed electric car, we are in process, and it's now ready. In 29th of October, the Gemlik facility of TOG locally manufactured vehicle will be done, and we will be bringing it off the line with a ceremony. In the last quarter of the year, we will start to see our cars on the roads. Our total installed power increased to 102 thousand megawatts. In Black Sea, we have discovered a natural gas reserve of 540 billion cubic meters, and on a daily basis 10 million cubic meters of natural gas will be transmitted to our national transmission system. The fourth drilling ship, Abdul Hamid An, last week was sent to its place of operations in the Mediterranean last week. In tourism, despite the conditions of the pandemic, last year the number of the tourists increased to a figure more that went beyond 30 million, and this year hopefully we will be achieving much higher figures. My dear brothers and sisters, as you can see, no matter how much we sum all up, the great works and projects and services we adorned our country with are numberless. And the visits we pay to our cities, we see similar pictures. Some of our programs, events are carried out in the cities, and we show special attention to carry those out in the cities we visit. But many times it is not even there's not even enough of time to tell all of these. But still, we do not only make an uproar like some do and talk to talk like some others do, and do not waste our time like others do. And indeed, I was planning to make a detailed evaluation about the Turkey's economic plan, but the time is overdue, and hopefully we will be making such evaluations, such assessments, and share all details with our nation, with you all, in another event. But I can say investment, production, employment, export, and current account surplus are the pillars on which our country's essential growth policy is on, and our economic program is sitting on a strong and sound and realistic foundation. The changes in the world also show the mileage our country has covered, and those who fail to see the opportunities that the global crises brought our way
kabulleriyle bakıyorlar.
can still look into the future with the assumptions of 40 years or 70 years ago. Let aside all those past times, Turkey is in our day in a very special place, let alone the future. The economy program we have is based on not the past but the future. Indeed, a single type economic model cannot fit to every country. Every country follows and benefits from general assumptions in accordance with their own conditions, needs, opportunities, and goals, and come up with their own economy programs and materialize those. And now, what do we say?
Garantili
FX guaranteed. We're talking about national currency, but some cannot digest that. Some economists, even though they know the realities, to look good to their owners, do smear on our programs, and some, because of their ignorance, feel enmity against us. And as they only have hammers in their hands, they consider everything as a nail. And with a single economy theory they try to make evaluations about Turkey, and we leave them to their own vicious worlds. Now, are we ready, my dear brothers and sisters? Right now, we have 9 months ahead of us, and during those 9 months, as brothers and sisters, I would like to repeat, we will be one. We will be great.
diri olacağız.
We will be resilient.
Kardeş olacağız.
We will be brothers and sisters.
Hep birlikte
And all together, we will be Turkey.
kalın sağlıcakla.
Stay in health.
Efendim bizler de konuşmalarından dolayı AK Parti Genel Başkanı Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a şükranlarımızı ve saygılarımızı sunuyoruz.